The morning sun was barely hitting the manicured lawns of Oakwood Heights when the bright yellow municipal truck, Unit 47, rumbled down Magnolia Lane. Inside, Frank "Skip" Wallace, dressed in standard-issue gray work clothes, paused the engine. He wasn't just Skip. He was the newly appointed City Sanitation Commissioner, a fact known only to the mayor and his chief of staff. He was 2 weeks into his self-mandated, unannounced route Audit, genuine boots-on-the-ground assessment. He climbed out of the cab to grab a large, overflowing black bag marked with the highly visible red tags that indicated illegal commercial refuse. The sunlight glinted off the bold red tags. They were impossible to miss. These tags were meant for industrial parks and construction sites, requiring a special, costly hauling service. Before he could toss the bag into the hopper, a gleaming black luxury sedan swerved aggressively. It was a high-performance vehicle that cut off the sanitation truck's route entirely, showing zero respect for the public service vehicle. The driver, Councilman Vernon Taggart, was a powerful figure in the city's Public Works Committee. Taggart emerged, adjusting his expensive jacket and looking visibly enraged by the disruption to his morning. His fury was immediate and dismissive, aimed squarely at the man he perceived as a mere laborer. "You, driver," Taggart barked, his voice loud enough to carry across the quiet street. "Move that heap of junk. I have a tea time in 20 minutes, and this street is my access route." Skip looked calmly at the councilman, then pointed at the illegally tagged bag on the curb. "This is commercial refuse," Councilman clearly labeled with red tags. "Residential pickup only takes personal waste, like kitchen and yard debris. This bag requires a separate, scheduled collection and a commercial permit." Taggart sneered, stepping closer, closing the distance aggressively. "Don't tell me about the rules, Skip. I write the rules for this whole department. I'm your commissioner's boss, you understand? I control his budget and funding. I am the reason you have that job, and I can be the reason you're back scrubbing toilets at City Hall." He paused for dramatic effect, letting the vicious threat hang in the pristine morning air. "Now, do you know whose house this is?" He gestured dismissively toward a stately home on the corner. Then he pointed at a sprawling, unmarked pile of construction debris hidden behind a row of hedges. The pile was clearly the result of a recent, large-scale interior renovation, a private, undeclared project. "I need you to get rid of that pile of rubble. Today, it must disappear. Consider it a special service, a favor you owe the councilman in charge of your salary." Skip didn't react to the threat. He maintained a level gaze, allowing no flicker of fear or subservience to show. He merely pulled a leather-bound notebook and a fountain pen from his breast pocket, ready to document the violation. He wasn't wearing an official ID badge, keeping his identity private, but he wore an air of unflappable competence. This competence was hard-earned, built from decades spent navigating the realities of city infrastructure. "Councilman Taggart," Skip said, his voice quiet but carrying the unmistakable weight of authority. He ensured his volume was low enough not to disturb the neighbors, yet firm enough to demand attention. "I'm afraid I can't do that, sir. Ignoring regulations would be a dereliction of my duty. And for the record, threatening a municipal employee performing his civic duty while on duty is a Level 2 ethics violation." This statement was precise, citing the exact classification from the city's employee handbook. Taggart laughed, a short, sharp sound of contempt. It was the sound of a man who believed himself untouchable. "Oh look, the trash man is quoting statutes. How quaint. Go ahead, report me. Your commissioner knows who signs his checks, and that budget vote is coming up next week. Now, move this truck, or I'll call the depot myself and have you reassigned to the sewage plant by noon." Taggart took a triumphant step back, fully expecting immediate capitulation from the intimidated worker. Skip closed his notebook with a decisive snap. The finality of the sound drew Taggart's focus away from his arrogance. He walked past the councilman to the rear of the sanitation truck, ignoring the man entirely. There was a small, locked compartment usually reserved for maintenance tools and safety equipment. He opened it, not with a standard key, but with a fob that activated an electronic lock and a quiet servo mechanism. This compartment was a special edition, installed by the city's security team specifically for his audit needs. From inside, he pulled out a small, laminated city official ID card, heavy with holographic security features. He clipped the ID card neatly and deliberately to the lapel of his standard-issue gray work shirt. He adjusted it to ensure it was perfectly visible, centered just above his heart. He turned back to Taggart, who instantly stopped laughing, the sneer evaporating from his face. Taggart's eyes narrowed, trying to process the change in posture and the sudden, official weight of the laminated card. "The depot would be happy to take your call, Councilman Taggart," Skip said, his expression completely neutral, devoid of triumph. "I'm certain Commissioner Wallace would be eager to hear your input on route efficiency and employee compliance." He held up the ID card for the stunned politician to read, angling it perfectly into the morning light. The text was simple and unambiguous. **** Frank W. Wallace, City Sanitation Commissioner. ***. The blood drained instantly from Taggart's face, his expensive suit suddenly looking too tight and restrictive. Skip continued, the quiet confidence now hardening into the clinical, authoritative tone of an administrator. "As of 2 weeks ago, I have been using the driver role to audit route efficiency and staff compliance. Critically, this initiative also aims to identify persistent illegal dumping and systematic abuse of city services. Which brings us back to this commercial refuse, clearly tagged for contractor disposal. That is a Class B violation, resulting in a mandatory $*$500 fine for illegal disposal. And then there is this sprawling pile of construction debris hidden behind your hedges. That material includes sheetrock and various chemicals, requiring specialized hazardous waste removal. That is a more severe Class A violation, triggering an initial fine of." Skip pointed his fountain pen back at the councilman, using the tip like a laser pointer for emphasis. "I appreciate you being so helpful this morning, Councilman. Your cooperation was exemplary for this audit. You've just demonstrated to the Commissioner Mia flagrant misuse of civic authority. Furthermore, you engaged in the attempted coercion of a city employee. Also, meanwhile, I was performing my duties. That is a serious matter that immediately triggers an investigation by the **** City Ethics Board ***. But let's start with the basics. The simple administrative violations we can process now." Skip pulled a large official-looking tablet from the truck's door pocket. It was a rugged, custom-built device. He didn't need to enter a complex alphanumeric code. He pressed his thumb to the biometric scanner on the side. The screen immediately lit up with the secure sanitation enforcement interface. "Councilman Vernon Taggart," Skip stated, reading from the screen, his tone as dry as dust. "You are officially being issued to municipal citations on this secure device, which logs your GPS coordinates and my timestamp. First, illegal commercial refuse disposal. Second, unpermitted construction waste dumping. The total fine for these two violations is exactly $3,000, payable to the Department of Sanitation. And finally, I'm going to need you to move your illegally parked vehicle immediately. Blocking a critical public service route is another citation, a Level 1 traffic offense. However, I'm feeling generous this morning, Councilman. I will waive that ticket, but only if you ensure the first two citations, totaling $3,000, are paid within 48 hours. Skip's eyes held Taggart's. "Have a wonderful day, Councilman. I look forward to reading your ethics board deposition." He didn't wait for a response. The confrontation was over. The paperwork was complete. Skip then walked to the overflowing black bag with the red tags, grabbing it with both hands. He tossed the commercial bag into the hopper with a thunderous mechanical crunch. The noise seemed to punctuate the abrupt, final end of Councilman Taggart's privileged political morning. The councilman stood frozen next to his sedan, watching the sanitation truck's mechanism grind. His expensive suit was rumpled, his face a mottled mix of fear, disbelief, and simmering rage. He realized the severity of the mistake he had made, the political landmine he had just stepped on. Skip, now back in the cab, adjusted the mirrors. The quiet audit was suddenly a major political incident. He knew Taggart would be on the phone within minutes, screaming at the mayor's office. But that was exactly the point of the audit, forcing the rats out of the woodwork to expose the corruption. The mayor, a man who loathed Taggart's arrogance, had fully endorsed this special operations strategy. Skip put the truck in gear. The diesel engine rumbled, shaking the quiet, expensive neighborhood. He pulled Unit 47 slowly forward, forcing Taggart to scramble back into his black sedan. The councilman had to illegally back up his luxury vehicle to clear the path, further demonstrating his disdain for traffic laws. As Skip drove away, he checked his secure tablet one last time. The citations were uploaded and locked. He also started a new entry, a detailed account of the coercion attempt, filed under *** Taggart, Vernon, ethics breach, ***. His next stop was a routine residential street, but the audit had just gotten significantly more interesting. The real cleanup in the city, Skip thought, didn't happen in the hopper. It happened in City Hall.